Good morning, my dear students, and once again, I welcome you back to the English online class. I know you might be thinking this chapter is taking so long, but you have to. We cannot do anything. You just have to listen to it carefully because it's quite a lengthy chapter. It's actually one of the lengthiest one of your task syllabus, and because I'm restricted to a time limit, I cannot take it very fast for you. And let's continue with the chapter. In the chapter, what we have done, you all know about Ivan trying to give an O-level examination in German language, for which the governor of the prison where Ivan is a prisoner spoke to the secretary of the examination board, and it was decided that he will be given the permission to give the examination with a parson or a priest as a invigilator. And then we have seen that the governor wanted to be very extra cautious, because basically Ivan is been nicknamed as Ivan's the Brave because he had thrice escaped from the jail, and this time he don't want Ivan to take advantage of the examination and escape from the jail. So we have also seen that one day before the examination, that is 7th June, the German teacher met him, said to him good luck, which he could not understand in German. And then there was a conversation between them which was left halfway through, like whether you are going to succeed or not, I don't know. And then Ivan said that he's going to surprise everyone. Then the next morning, the people have seen the following morning that two of the officers came to his cell, and it was Jackson and Stephen. Jackson was a senior officer and Stephen was a newly recruited one. And then there was some heated conversation between Ivan and Jackson. Actually, Jackson was looking out that there should not be anything that could be used by Ivan to escape from there. And then after that, he asked him to remove the bobble hat which he was wearing over his head, to which Ivan said that it is basically like a lucky charm, so he would like to put it on. And then we have seen about Reverend McCleary, who is from St. Mary Mark's Church. Basically, he is been appointed as the invigilator for this German level examination. And that particular morning, around 8:45, he left his flat, his room, and then he started walking past, and he was wearing a black overcoat and spectacles, high and hat he was wearing. And he was holding, or he was carrying, a brown colored suitcase in which 6 items were there, which I told you people to keep in mind. One was a sealed question paper envelope, another one was an invigilation form, third one was a special authentication form that he has been given the responsibility, and he's been given the right to invigilate it. Then paper knife was there, Bible was there, and edition of you can say the newspaper was there, Church Times. Examination was scheduled to start at 9:15, and again we saw that Jackson, and we saw the arrangement. You remember the arrangement, how it was done between the bunk and the cell door, how the table was arranged, how the chair was arranged in such a manner that when Ivan sits on one side of the other side of the table on the chair, he can be clearly seen through the cell door. And then after this arrangement was made, Jackson came to know that Ivan already knows that they were bugging on him, and he also gave him an ultimatum that be very careful, everyone is keeping an eye, even I'm also keeping an eye on him, so don't try to act any smart or any kind of stupidity, you don't do. And then we have seen Ivan basically saying that he's not going to do anything of that sort. And then uh, this Reverend McCleary arrived over there, and then he passes through the various doors. First the main door, then the outer door of the D-wing where Ivan's was there. Then he entered into the inner door. Then Jackson handed him over to Stephen, and then Stephen from there he escorted him to the cell of Ivan. And then after that, we have seen that he went there and he showed Reverend McCleary through the peephole that Ivan was sitting down inside, and he was engrossed in in revision of his German grammar, hopefully. And then he took the key from the ring, and then he opened the cell door. Till there we people have done, and so let's now continue further. It was 9:10 a.m. when the governor switched on the receiver. He had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precaution that was only fair, as if Evans wouldn't spot it. But wasn't it all a bit of theoretical, schoolboyish almost? How on earth was Evans going to try anything on today? If he was so anxious to make another break, why in heaven's name hadn't he tried it from the recreational block? Much easier. But he hadn't, and there he was now, sitting in a locked room, all the prison officers on the alert, two more locked doors between his cell and the yard, and a yard with a wall as high as a haystack. Yes, Evans was as safe as houses. Exam was supposed to start at 9:15, and around some 9:10, the door opened up, and our governor, at that time he switched on the receiver. Actually, Jackson told him that Ivan found out about that microphone which has been planted over there, and then governor said that are they doing too much? Because if really Ivan wanted to escape, this was not the time. He could have easily escaped when they used to be in the recreational block, and now when he will be in a closed room, a locked room with the prison officers at high alert, and between him and the yard, two doors have to be crossed, and the yard, he's not going to go and knock the door and say that, oh come on, open the door, I want to escape. Definitely he will try to jump over the wall, and the wall is very heighted, means like a haystack, bhoose ka dher. So according to the governor, Ivan was very safe over there. Anyway, it wouldn't be any trouble at all to have the receiver turn on for the next couple of hours or so. It wasn't as if there was going to be anything to listen to, was it? Amongst other things, an invigilator's duty was to ensure that the strictest silence was observed. But still, that little nagging doubt, might Evans try to take advantage of McCleary, get him to smuggle in a chisel or two, or a rope ladder, or... See, when you're having a doubt in your heart, no, it keeps on knocking the mind, and you turn very suspicious. So here also, I already told you, no CCTV system, only microphone and speakers. And speaker was there in governor's room, and microphone was there in Ivan's cell. So governor, he thought that they're doing too much, but then he thought that, oh, for 2 hours, even if I switch on and keep, it's not going to be of any use. Why? Because in the examination room, are you allowed to talk? No. The invigilator, he see that there is strict silence while the examination is conducted. So there also will be strict silence. So what is the use of that microphone? But still okay, no problem. Then suddenly, a nagging thought, means persistently going on, hitting his mind. It came into his mind that, oh, what if Ivan has taken advantage of McCleary? What if McCleary is smuggling or taking some kind of a thing which could be used as a weapon, like a chisel? Chisel, all of you know what is a chisel? Chisel, the one which is used by the carpenters and all for you, or otherwise even that you call it in Hindi cheni, that kind of thing, and then a rope ladder, something of that sort. As soon as that thought passed through his mind, what the governor did, you see, the governor sat up sharply. It was all very well getting rid of any potential weapon that Evans could have used, but what about McCleary? What if, quite unwittingly, the innocent McCleary had brought in something himself? A jackknife, perhaps? What if Evans held him hostage with such a weapon? The moment that thought came in his mind, our governor, he sat up. And he started thinking that as such they have searched and taken out everything. You remember? Nail cutter, nail scissors, razor, everything. Nail scissors here means nail cutter only. Everything had been taken out, which maybe he could have used for the purpose of weapon. Okay, but what if by chance, innocently, by chance, McCleary has brought something that could be used as a weapon, a jackknife. You remember there was a paper knife, and I told you that it is a paper knife, but it can be very dangerous. So, what if Ivan holds him as a hostage and with the help of that weapon escape from the jail? So, what governor did? The governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. The examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary through the cell door. Can you come outside a minute, sir? You too, Stephens. Now, 9:15 exam was supposed to start, and our governor, he picked up the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. Meanwhile, the examinee means Evans and invigilator McCleary, they were already introduced by Stephen, because Stephen has already opened the lock and took the invigilator inside. At that time, Jackson came from back and he shouted at McCleary through the cell door, please sir, can you please come outside? And you too, Stephens. This one, Jackson said. Jackson quickly explained to Governor's worries, and McCleary patiently held out his arms at shoulder level while Jackson lightly frisked his clothes. Something hard here, sir. My reading glasses, replied McCleary, looking down at the spectacle case. Jackson quickly reassured him and, bending down on the landing thumb, flicked the catches on the suitcase. Now, after McCleary came out, Jackson, he said that what our governor is thinking about, maybe something of that sort can happen. So McCleary, he cooperated. He just lifted his hand at both the sides. He lifted it up, and he allowed him to search. So Jackson also very lightly he looked around, and somewhere he found something hard. He asked, sir, something hard over here. He said, oh, that my reading glasses, means my spectacle box, it is there. He sat down at the spectacle box case. And Jackson, he gave it back to him, and then he bent down and he got the catches means the handle of that suitcase which was there. He picked up each envelope in turn, carefully passed his palms along their surfaces, and seemed satisfied. He riffled curiously through a few pages of Holy Writ and vagely shook the church times. All right, so far. But one of the objects in McCleary's suitcase was puzzling him sorely. Now, after checking McCleary, his suitcase is also supposed to be checked. So he got the handle, opened the suitcase. You remember an envelope of question paper, a yellow invigilation form, an authentication card, a paper knife, Bible, and newspaper. 6 items. Okay. He took the envelope and he, with his palm, means hateli, with his palm, he moved it along the surface of the paper to see that nothing is there between the papers. He was satisfied. Then he took the Holy Writ, the Bible, and he shook the book little. Not shook the book. He just turned the pages of the book. Means book here means Holy Writ means the Bible. Okay, so he turned the pages of the Bible, and visually he shook the church time. Not happens that like if any paper is stuck, we just shake it and then the paper falls off. Like that only, he took the newspaper and he shook it off. And then one thing but in the suitcase was giving him a little trouble. The paper knife. That was troubling him. So let's see what it is. Do you mind telling me why you have brought this, sir? He held up a smallish, semi-inflated rubber ring, such as a young child with a wrist of about 12 inches might have struggled into. You thinking of going for a swim, sir? McCleary, hitherto amiable demeanor, was slightly ruffled by this tasteless little pleasantry, and he answered Jackson somewhat sourly. If you must know, I suffer from hemorrhoids, and when I'm sitting down for any length of time. Very sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. Oh, the embarrassment was still reddening Jackson's cheeks when he found the paper knife at the bottom of the case. I think I would better keep this though, if you don't mind. That's so. Now, this thing will puzzle you also. When he left the house, in the small briefcase, what all thing was there? 6 items. Okay? Envelope was checked, papers were checked, card was checked, paper knife, leave it off, Holy Bible was checked, newspaper was checked, left out was paper knife. But when the suitcase was opened, 7 items were there. And what was that seventh item? It was a semi-inflated rubber ring. When this small children learn swimming, you might have seen that they put a ring, rubber ring, round their waist so that they don't drown while they are learning swimming. So Jackson asked him, "Sir, can you just tell me why you brought this?" And it was semi-inflated, means something was filled up inside. It was not this one totally unblown or inflated. It was semi-inflated. Means something was there inside that which was jumping up, and it was blown up half, not fully blown, semi-inflated it was. And then he asked, "Sir, don't mind, but why you are having this?" Jackson said, "Are you thinking of going for a swimming from here?" Now McClary, till now he was cooperating nicely. So McClary hitherto amiable demeanor means till now, very cooperative mood or very good mood in which he was cooperating was suddenly ruffled. It became little rude, or you can say that angry he became because of was asked by Jackson. So until now, the cooperative mood, his soft mood, demeanor, means his nature or his approach, it became suddenly little rough because of the question that was asked by Jackson. And he answered to Jackson in a little bit, he curtly answered him, or you can say it sourly, means when you don't like and you talk to a person and you don't like something that has been told to you, and then you're just giving an information to the person. And he said that, "If you want to know, I'm suffering from hemorrhoids, piles." You might be knowing that a person who is suffering from piles cannot sit down on a hard object for a long time. So he said that if I sit down for a length of time, means if I sit down for a long time, then Jackson, he was filled with embarrassment, and that embarrassment has actually reddened him. And he said, "Oh, sorry sir, um, I didn't mean to," means he didn't mean to insult him. And then he found the paper knife. Now the paper knife is the seventh item according to the list which I am counting out now. And he said to him, "Sir, this knife I am going to keep with me if you don't mind." So now the question is, when he left, 6 items were there. When he reached there, 7 items were there. Okay, let's see. This is what the whole story is about. It was 9:18 a.m. before the governor heard their voices again, and it was clear that the examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. "McCleary, you have got a watch?" He wants. "Yes, sir." "McCleary, I'll be telling you when to start, and again when you have 5 minutes left. All right?" Silence. "McCleary, there's plenty more on this writing paper should you need it. Of this writing paper should you need it." Silence. "McCleary, now write the name of the paper, 0211, in the top left hand corner." Silence. "In the top right hand corner, write your index number 313, and in the box just below that, write your center number 271. All right?" Now, exam which was supposed to start at 9:50, it started at 9:18 because of all this search and all this talk and all. And the governor, he heard the voices again, and from the voice it was clear that the examination was going to be a little more late. And then talk was there between McCleary and Ivan. McCleary asked, "You got a watch?" He said yes. And then he said that, "I'll tell you when to start." And then again when 5 minutes are left, okay, And then he said that we have got a lot of answer sheets, means like supplementary sheets, and if you want you can take it. And then he started telling him some numbers which are supposed to be filled up in the answer sheet, like how you fill in roll numbers and all those things, no? Like that. He said that at the top left hand corner you write down this number, in the index you write down this index number, and then one more box is there, you write down this number, all these things he said to him. Then it was 9:20. Then he said that now I'm going to. Then Ivan said that he's not going to stay here, is he? I don't know about that. Mr. Jackson given me strict instructions to. How am I supposed to concentrate on my exam with someone breathing down my neck? Christ, sorry sir, I didn't mean. The governor reached for the phone. Jackson, good. Get Stephens out of that cell, will you? I think we are perhaps overdoing things. As you wish, sir. The governor heard the exchanges in the cell, heard the door clang once more, and heard McClary announce that the examination had begun at last. It was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calm. Okay, now it was 9:20. There was silence, and McClary was about to say to begin the examination when Ivan said that whether that fellow is going to stand here all the time, like how in the examination when a teacher comes and stand next to you, you stop writing, you don't want to show anything that is written in your paper, same way. So McClary said that I don't know anything about it. Then Stephen, he said that Mr. Jackson told me very clearly that I am supposed to be here. And Ivan said that with someone standing and breathing over my neck, down my neck, means it means that someone's presence. I cannot write on the examination. Then the governor, who was listening to all those things, he reached for the phone to call Jackson, and he said that Jackson, come on, we are doing too much. Ask Stephen to come out of the cell. Then Jackson said that okay, as you wish, sir. And then the governor, he could hear that some talk was there, and the door opened, and most probably Stephen came out, and McClary announced that the examination had begun, and it was 9:25 a.m. and there was silence. 9:15 exam started at 9:25 a.m. So we'll continue with the rest of it in the next class. Till then, goodbye and stay safe.